Starting with Louisiana Tech on the road at Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders, a 3-point home favorite, has an over-under of 54.5 points, butting up there on a key betting figure. This game kicks off Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. So far, it's been a one-way street. Middle Tennessee has taken a bunch of action. They opened as -2 favorites, and then they pushed through -3 in some spots. You can find 3 and the hook at some books. Of course, that is juiced just a bit toward Louisiana Tech. The under also got moved from 58.5 down to its current 54.5. Like I said, through that key betting figure of 55 points. That's not insignificant. It is the most frequent occurring point total in the last 5 years in college football. Louisiana Tech has 2 FBS wins on their schedule this year, but it's against the 128th and 129th power-rated team per my aggregated power ratings here that do include Kelly Ford's K4 ratings. Be sure to visit his website at k4ratings.com to check those out. Now, the Bulldogs have a -12 average scoring margin against their other FBS teams that they have not beaten, which of course all exceed 128th and 129th in those power ratings. They also went down 35-0 at halftime versus Western Kentucky before the Hilltoppers inexplicably imploded. If you watched that game, it was a lot closer than it needed to be in the second half. I don't think the final score is necessarily indicative of how that game could have, possibly should have, I should say, gone. But they do have a superstar, Willie Roberts at cornerback. He's one of the most dominant corners in the country right now. He's been targeted 29 times for some reason, only allowed 8 receptions, 12 forced incompletions, and 8 PBUs. That is the most in the country by a healthy margin. They're also a very sound tackling team. You can question the competition level. They've had just one opponent in the top 60 in points per drive scored this year, that being North Texas, who's not that great in themselves. And then they've also faced 3 that are outside the top 100 in points per drive. Now, Middle Tennessee's offense falls into the latter category. They're 117th in points per drive scored this year. And outside of the second quarter against Jacksonville State, they have not scored multiple offensive touchdowns in a single quarter against an FBS opponent this year. Now, the offensive line has been questionable at times. They had an awful start against Jacksonville State, but they really did improve as the game went on. Louisiana Tech themselves is 115th in sack rate this season, just a smidge under 4%. Now, the way Conference USA games have been going this season, I lean Louisiana Tech at anything better than +3. If you can find +3.5, if that does move without the juice, I'd probably lean Louisiana Tech on that one. You may also want to take a look at second half live on the underdog. That's just the way these games have been going. Teams have been going up big, and the opponents have just come back and turned into a game. It's been terrific theater, appointment television in my opinion here. But yeah, I'm probably looking to back the underdog in the second half based on the way that these games have gone so far. And anything pre-live, Louisiana Tech +3.5 or better against Middle Tennessee.